Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Sarah, also known as Laugh Love Langella. And in today's video, I figured I would do something a little bit different. I'm first going to be sharing some recent fall finds that I've come across in the past month or so that I'm planning to incorporate for the season. And then I figured I would do something different than I have in the past and create almost a fall decor lookbook. So how I've curated the aesthetic I'm going for this early fall season, how I might plan to transition it when we get closer to the official beginning of fall. But there's so much that happens behind the scenes of creating the look that you're going for and creating a welcoming, cozy home. It's not something that you can just walk into a store and immediately you know the exact vision. Over time, I've definitely gotten a little bit quicker, given I always have Christmas on the mind, I have fall on the mind. I'm always looking at that stuff. I'm always shopping year round, might I say. I have bought Christmas decor in April or May. I love to shop after season sales. I think that is so smart to be able to save as much money as you can. And some of the best stuff sells out so fast. Like one of these things today, it is July and it is already sold out. Given it is restocked now, but we weren't sure if it was going to. But I digress. I'm going to share these finds with you, and then I'm going to share how I've kind of puzzled together the look that I'm going for, the direction I'm going in with my early fall decorating before we actually style it. So let's get right into the finds. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing these finds first. And if you follow me over on Instagram, a couple of these you have actually already seen. Stuff sells out so incredibly fast. I know I have mentioned this in so many videos before, but if you wait until October, when you are ready to decorate for fall, things will be gone. So consider yourself warned. You do not need to decorate now. I'm not pressuring anybody to start. I generally decorate August 1st, but we have family coming in town and I would like to get things out sooner. I also need to film a little early so that way I have time. Baby, she's in the walker over here staring at me. There's her hello. But the first find that I'm sharing today is this beautiful plaid pillow cover. This is from Pottery Barn. And I especially love pillow covers rather than the whole thing. It makes storage so much easier. That way you can sit, you can invest in good inserts and just swap out the covers seasonally. You don't need to have all these big bulky things dealing with vacuum bags and such. Don't do it. Don't do it. I will say though, sometimes I love a good HomeGoods pillow find, and I've been trying to find a good plaid and haven't, and that's why I went for this. But get good inserts and then just deal with the covers. Don't deal with those cheapy inserts or anything, but this one is so pretty. I love that I can use it for both fall and Christmas/winter decorating because there's a lot of color in this. And it's not in a loud way, but it's just a very traditional plaid option. And so that way I can lean into the browns and the greens for the fall season and then pull from the red and green for Christmas and winter. But this is actually on the more affordable side of pillow covers. It was $49.50, so call it $50 for this. But I just made a trip to HomeGoods and I was seeing pillows for $40. So I would rather spend a little bit more and have something that is really great. It's also double-sided. A lot of things aren't these days, but love this so much. I actually grabbed a second one. It is back ordered already and it's only July, so just keep that in mind. But I did order myself another one, so hopefully it comes before I do my early fall living room decorating video, but I think it might come a little bit after. So I'm going to do some tweaking with it, but we'll see. Another one that I picked up is another Pottery Barn pillow cover, but I actually bought it on Poshmark. And so that is something also to keep in mind after seasons, stuff goes on sale. You can shop the designer sites. Sometimes you get lucky and you can find them elsewhere. Mercari, Etsy, eBay, Poshmark. You can find things at a fraction of the price still. So it's worth sitting there and trying to save yourself what you can. There's always look for less options too. I did source a couple options for the plaid. It's not identical, just a preface, but some plaid pillow options from Amazon. I will have them linked down below. And then I picked up a couple of these from Poshmark and was able to save, I think it was like 50% off or something. So I grabbed a couple of these. Green is such a timeless color. And then what really kicked everything off was this plaid pillow, and they pair so nicely together. So I'm really excited. I did find a similar option to this. It's not identical. It does not have the knit striping vertical, it doesn't have that detail, but it has this more neutral floral with the bolder background, and they come in a bunch of different colors. Also from Amazon. I will have everything I can linked down below in the video description for you guys. But love this. Again, it's a pillow cover, so that way storage is easy. Just fold it up and stick it on a shelf, and I am all about that. All right, I know I can get rambly, so I do apologize. This is going to be a little bit of a lengthy video, but I also picked up this beautiful terracotta leaf bowl. This is the one that has been sold out already in July. They did thankfully restock it. This is the size small. I am strongly considering ordering the size large because I've seen some other people share it and it is quite big. But this is perfect for some console styling, entryway styling. It is a bowl, so you can use it as a catch-all. But I thought this was a really great way of introducing that more traditional color palette of the orange with fall decorating, but it's muted. So it's not super loud. It's not that bright pumpkin orange. Another piece was this amazing oak leaf branch. Now, I shared this also over on Instagram because I am a person that, as much as I love decor, I can talk about it all the time. I'm always sourcing it. I'm kind of the worst at reading dimensions. Unless I need something to specifically be a certain size, I don't really look. And that sounds so naughty, but it is so true. So this, I'm sitting on the stool in front of my fireplace. This is huge. It is huge. This is one branch. This is an investment stem, but this is a perfect transitional one to use for the season. It is on sale right now also, so just keep that in mind. The shipping can kind of, I wish that they did free shipping. They used to do more. They do with some things, but not everything. But I'm going off on a tangent. This is a great transitional one. I need to use faux florals. I love the look of real ones, but I'm allergic. So if I bring real florals into my house, I'm gonna have a moment for quite some time. So this is so pretty. I grabbed two of them because I was really nervous. I would want to and only ended up with one, and I didn't want to pay the shipping twice. So grab this. Absolutely love that stem. Will definitely be incorporating in my fall decorating. But another stem that I also got was this twig and pine cone one from A Floral. And A Floral is a designer floral site. However, you can find some really great deals on A Floral. Sign up for their email notifications. Always check out their clearance section. These were in the clearance section. So they are a pine cone twig, perfect for fall and Christmas winter decorating. I figured I could also put these in a garland on the mantle. I thought that would be such a pretty moment, but these were in the sales section and were only $10 a stem. And when I purchased them, they had an additional 30% off sale items, so the savings was huge on them. And these are a really big stem too. They do have a more sparse look, but I figured for fall decorating, I could layer these with the maple leaf stem that I got from At Home a couple years ago, but such a great piece that I can use for multiple seasons as well. So I'm super excited about that. And then we just have a few more things left. I shared this in my summer home tour video. I picked up this diamond patterned lumbar pillow. The texture on it is so pretty. The site that I got it from does not have any more in stock, but I will source it from somewhere else. It's one of those really long ones, but I love the texture on it. It is so pretty. This is great all year round. And it's not technically for fall, which is always wonderful. And then from HomeGoods, I grabbed two things. HomeGoods has the best candle selection in terms of like an overall type of style. This is an Anthro Look for Less. I got the wooden house candles from them over the past couple years and will absolutely keep my eye out for more of them. But this one is a pumpkin cinnamon and it was $19.99. It is quite large too. It has 3 wicks in it. And it smells yummy. I'm actually really not a fan of pumpkin scented flavors, smells, anything like that. But that is nice and delicate, so I can definitely deal with it. All right, crisis averted, our binky fell out, so we were having a moment about it. The other thing I picked up from HomeGoods is this, not rattan, grapevine pumpkin, and it actually has lights on it as well. Let me see. They just have string lights woven around it, but I thought that this would be perfect for shelf styling. You could easily put it on a fireplace hearth as well. They had quite a few of these, but they were all the same size. So that's why I only grabbed one. My HomeGoods right now is completely swamped with Halloween. I'm here for it, but I would love to think about fall first. So I'm gonna definitely be making more trips there. I might pick up a couple more things as I see them, but this is great. I did see from At Home, they have a grapevine pumpkin that does not have lights, something you can easily add to it. And theirs, I believe, was $20 as well. So I have that link below because I can't link HomeGoods, but great traditional classic type thing. It works no matter what color direction you go in or anything. And then the last new item I picked up is one of these star pods, and I have always wanted to get one of these. I don't know what it is about it. I just love that it is an organic, natural element that I can add for shelf styling. I could do it for a coffee table just as easily, but I love thinking a lot about texture, especially come the cozier months. I do all year round, let's be real, but I thought that this would be a perfect element to add some warmth to the shelves because they are painted, they're not wood. And so this will help just soften it up a little bit, and it's different looking. It's not rectangular, it's not circular. It just gives something different to add to shelf styling. So jumping right into how I like to curate the look and direction I'm going for, I always love a jumping off point. And for that, I look towards my florals and my textiles. And for the fall season, the florals really do a lot of the talking. And so I figured I would lean into that. But this was my starting off point, was this plaid pillow cover with the browns, the greens. We have a lighter green, a deeper one. We have some reds and yellows in it, a little beige. So I figured that this was a really great place to start. And then I could just pull different elements from it. So I have this floral print pillow that has the green element in it. It also has some neutral. And when you're doing this, you don't need to copy it fully through, but just keep in mind color tones. If you have something that's more warm, try to keep it in the warm family. There are such things as cool greens versus warm greens and so forth, but that's where I started with it. And then I also have these beautiful tapestry pillows that I got last year from 23rd by Deanne. I use these for my early fall decorating actually. on this side, and then I used another one also, but they are reversible to a more traditional orange. But for my early fall decorating, I do like to do things more muted. I would say neutral in the past, but I'm definitely leaning into my color a little bit more now than I have before, and I'm really enjoying it. But this has that brown, a little orange, it has the beige and some red tones in it, so it pulls the colors from here really nicely. Now, I will keep in mind that these two, this one's a little cooler than this, so I won't actually pair these two together, but I have no problem pairing these or those as I see necessary. But I have those, and I also have this really great plaid throw blanket. This was from Amazon, super budget friendly. It goes on sale every once in a while for like $10, which is great. So I'll keep an eye on the pricing for that. But again, we have the browns, we have the beige, and then bringing in our more prominent color. I want this to really read fall, but I do want to do it differently than last year. Last year, I pulled a lot of brown and orange and not a lot of green initially, and I felt like it was a little less welcoming and inviting than it could be. So I almost, this is so funny. So you know how like everyone will put a name to what they're trying to do? This reads very Ralph Lauren to me, and I love that. So I'm trying to go for like a cozy Ralph Lauren aesthetic with my early fall decorating, but I have this, I think it's called the Cozy Teddy Throw from Pottery Barn, and it's a beautiful green. It has such, it's heavy, it's thick, but these are the coziest blankets. They are an investment, but they are huge. They're an oversized one. So this is where I'm going with my textiles. I really wanted my textiles to do the talking with all of this. So just so you can see the general direction I'm going in, especially with my living room, is just this very welcoming, cozy plaid of greens, browns, and oranges in a muted fashion. I don't want this to be very loud or anything, but this is my jumping off point. The next thing I think about other than textiles are my florals and what pairs nicely with that. So this is an arrangement I have been doing for years. It's this green spray stem from Hobby Lobby, some blackberries, some Chinese lanterns. Stay tuned for my early fall entry video. I will showcase some of these, but these definitely tie in really nicely with what we already have happening here. And then I want to go and bring in some texture. So I have this really great pine cone stem that I just shared. This is gonna be a really great tie-in, bringing in an organic element. And I can pair that with this maple leaf stem, which again has a more muted color palette versus traditional fall decorating. I can mix this with something that has a traditional color to transition it for my fall decorating versus early fall. But this does have some hints of yellow and green in it to lean it more into a transition state than true fall. So I always like to make sure that my florals, especially downstairs with it being open concept, all talk nicely to each other. I want them to pair well. And so I have this more neutral palette here. This one brings a little bit of boldness without being aggressive. And I can pair this nicely with these as well. And then of course, bringing in the big guns with the green leaf stem. And so that way we are hitting all of the notes that are the starting point, which is this pillow cover, with our florals, with our textiles, and you can kind of see how everything is pulling together. Now for early fall decorating, I do omit pumpkins. I like to lean more towards acorns and apples and leaves than a pumpkin. I figure that way, again, we're transitioning. We're not just diving straight in. So I have this dark wood acorn candle. That's also something to keep in mind. For summer, we like to go for lighter textiles, a linen, a wicker woven type thing. For fall and winter, you can go a little heavier, go for the dark woods rather than the light ones. So I have this acorn candle. I also have these wooden acorns I found antique shopping a few years ago now. I've never found anything quite like them since then. They're some of my favorites, but love these. Great bowl filler option. We're bringing in an organic element again. And then leaning into the apples and the leaves. This is the Pottery Barn leaf that they brought out last year. Unfortunately, did not bring it back out this year, but I will be incorporating this. I have this paper mache apple that was from Amazon last year. Really great, budget friendly, neutral piece of decor. So if you want to go full neutral, if you want to go full bold color, this will pair well with everything. And it's nice to have something a little bit calmer in the mix of everything else that's going on. Also, think about brass elements. I have this apple container that I have loved for years. It has the perfect amount of patina on it. I love this thing. But this is another thing to keep in mind. We have all of these darker things. We want to bring in a little spark of something, and brass is a really great way to add some brightness, but also some warmth to the space. And then we have the Pottery Barn leaf bowl from this year. It is the terracotta one. This is a size small. And again, we're pulling in the oranges from the plaid, as well as this floral pillow. And it's a more muted one, but can very easily work for traditional fall decorating. I just, for my early fall, really am focusing so heavily on a more muted palette, which is like funny because we got bright red and yellow and orange in here, but that's just one element. I have neutral couches, I have a neutral rug, and so I'm letting the textiles and the florals do the talking for the season. And then we're continuing with decorating with organic elements. I have this star pod that I've recently picked up that I will definitely incorporate. I'm also planning on purchasing some star anise. I know you can do simmer pots and everything with it, so it's multifunctional, but I'm also going to use it as a bowl filler. I think that would be a really great way of introducing an organic element. You could do cinnamon sticks as well. You could just do twigs, whatever floats your boat with that. But I love the organic element of that. And for vessels, I'm looking at more neutral ones to, again, let the textiles and the florals be the stars of the show when it comes to any styling I do, and let those be bolder elements sticking out on shelves or a side table. This clay pot was from Golden Oldies. It is such a beautiful, warm beige color. It's going to be perfect with any florals that I pair with it. And another element I love to look for with fall decorating are pine cones. These transition really well for Christmas and winter as well, so they are multifunctional for different seasons. You can also find some unique candle holders. I have this skinny taper pine cone candle holder. This was from World Market last year. I also have a darker pair from Antique Farmhouse. And I have a brass pair that were from Amazon years ago. But this is another way of bringing in some brightness, having a textural element. It's not just a straight, plain candle holder. And it just gives a slight nod to the season. So I know that that was a lot of information wrapped up. I hope that helps you guys kind of see into my mind a little bit when it comes to how I build what I'm doing with my decor. I never have everything figured out immediately. I love tweaking and playing around with things, but it helps having a sense of direction with it, and you can have fun. That's the biggest part of this, is creating a cozy, welcoming home for your family and being able to express yourself. And all of that looks differently for everybody, but this is what works for me and what I'm planning to do for the season. So that is going to wrap up today's video, friends. Again, I sure hope that you found it helpful seeing how I take one item and kind of build on it to curate the look that I'm going for the fall season, for this one in particular. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you liked seeing how I built everything all together, how I'm planning to incorporate it in our home. And that's something I can definitely keep in mind going forward in the future, to do a lookbook like this before I actually start decorating. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite item was that I shared in today's video. My next one is going to be 4 early fall entryway styling ideas, and you don't want to miss out on that. That'll be posted on Saturday, so stay tuned. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me here today, friends, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!